Hi, hi. Try not to be late. I know French people are often late. It's very nice to be here with you this afternoon. I feel a little bit lonely because I believe I'm the only non-Finnish, non-Estonian politician. And I know it's a good place for startups to meet investors. It's a good place to do business, so you'll all think, oh no, don't bring politics in, please. What I want to tell you is that as a member of the French government and as a member of a state that strongly believes in the idea of a strong Europe, I think it's about time that governments work together to support startup ecosystems, because I firmly believe that the future source of growth and of job creations will come from you guys. So that's why I'm here, and I'm also here because what I see is that Helsinki, this event, Slush here, is in a perfect position to create a link between some markets that we naturally not necessarily look at when we're based in Western Europe, which are Russia and China and the rest of Asia. And France is probably a good link too between the northern part of the continent, between these eastern markets and the rest of the world, the South. And I'm not sure that the South is very well represented here today, and the West. So I know that French startups, when they start to grow, they're looking for investors, and they'll immediately try to find money in the United States. That's where the money is, right? I believe there are some American investors in this room, and what I'd like to tell them is, come, leave the US and come and have a look at what's going on in Europe, in Helsinki, in Berlin, in Paris, in London. There are fantastic ecosystems that are dedicated governments willing to help their startups, and it's about time that America looks at the rest of the world as opportunities that need to be taken, but not by absorbing them, but by embracing the world. So I set up a system of support for startups in France around two words. It's called the French Tech. You know, Britain has finance, Germany has manufacturing, and in France, and this is something that is probably not so well known, we've had French tech engineers forever, except that we're not so good at telling about it. I think we're pretty good at the know-how, what we call in French the savoir-faire. We're not so good at faire savoir, at let know about it. So what I'd like to tell you is what we're doing very practically to attract foreign investors in France, to attract talented startups, and to be part of a larger ecosystems. Last week, I gave a label to 9 cities in France. Why? Because they all have very successful startups. They have big, large groups ready to invest in startups. They have local administrations, engineering schools, business schools that are all working together to grow their ecosystems. 9 cities, that is Paris, of course, but also Bordeaux with the wine, that is Grenoble and Lyon, close to the mountains, or cities in the south of France with the sun and the French Riviera. So you might think of France as a very powerful, centralized state. The reality is not that at all. The reality is that the digital economy comes from grassroots, it comes from the ground, and my role is to accompany the movement being born locally to make them grow and go internationally. So with these cities and the startups, there's the biggest incubator in the world being created in Paris. It's being built at the moment. It's going to open in 2 years for 1,000 startups in one place altogether. And the startups that will be created in the labeled French tech cities will get a place in that big incubator if they want to. We've also implemented a passport, a special passport for talented people who want to come to France and work in the digital economy. We've created the French Tech Ticket. What is it? It's one visa, it's one administrative stop to do all the steps, the difficult things that you don't want to spend too much time on, and a grant. And this is for you and your family, because we believe that a country has to be competitive economically, but it also has to be competitive in its capacity to attract talents. And at the moment, you may know that there's a rise of populism and extremism in Europe. This is an idea, these are values that we completely reject. France is an open country. We want our borders to be open. We want to attract foreign talents, and we want them to feel welcome and to participate in the global economy. That's what I wanted to tell you about today. You're welcome to come and visit me. I'm in Paris, but I'll also be in Las Vegas in January. I believe that a third of the startups present in Las Vegas will be French. They will be French under one single banner, the French Tech. So I'm here to say, come and join the French Tech. Your job is to take risk. You are startups, you're used to taking risk. You are investors, you're used to taking risk. The next big risk to take is to go and discover ecosystems that maybe you wouldn't have thought of in the first place, but I think that's what the digital economy is about. It's about taking risks and discovering new places, new people, new ideas. So you're welcome in France. I hope we'll all work together. Thank you for your interest. I will stop blah-blahing, and if I'm saying that, it's because I'm very proud to introduce Nicolas. He's the CEO of BlaBlaCar, and BlaBlaCar is the biggest current funding in France at the moment. Here's Nicolas. Thank you.